often associate the sound of waves with serenity. But did you know it can sometimes become unbearable? It's best to see these 15 monster waves caught on camera from the safety of your home. Stay tuned to this channel for the juiciest topics on the planet. Teahupoo, Tahiti. With over 5 deaths and counting, the wave at Teahupoo is one of the deadliest in the world. If you do a quick Google search on surfer deaths at Teahupoo, you'll find related results. While some nearly died from their experience there, others never lived to tell the tale. The most notable death occurred in 2001 when Bryce Terria, a local charger, was out surfing. He got sucked over the falls while trying to duck dive a 12-footer, broke his back in 3 places, and fell into a coma. He succumbed to the injuries 2 days later and died. His death is one of the most violent wave-related deaths in history. Puerto Escondido, Mexico. Many tourists have been victims of Puerto Escondido waves. From Cassidy to Jay Adams to Noel Robinson, we can't shrug off the damage this wave has caused. The problem with this area is that many tourists may have died, and we don't have their records. However, recent improvements in lifeguard protection have positively affected the recent visitors. After Mark Healy nearly lost his life from the waves, he wondered how he didn't die because death flashed before him several times. It took him a long time to recover from the shock. Waimea Bay, Hawaii. After Dickie Cross appeared at Waimea, the world was put on notice of how dangerous big wave surfing is. Cross and Woodry tried to paddle out at Sunset Beach when an aggressive northwest swell began filling in. As each set grew larger, the men paddled 2.5 miles down to Waimea so they could make it to the beach. While Brown made it, Cross didn't. To this day, they have not found his body. It wasn't till years later that anyone would try their luck out on there. In 1995, California's Donnie Solomon died from the waves. The most recent death occurred in 2015 when the victim disappeared. His body was eventually found days later. Mavericks, California. Mavericks has given the big wave community a reason to pause and reconsider some decisions. It's a fast and furious wave that produces a rare left-hander. To make matters worse, it also has shark-infested waters, and sometimes it's foggy. Mark Fu's death in 1994 made the news for the wrong reasons. Another man died in 2011 for a related reason. Simon Miloski drowned, and Jacob Trett and his aspiring charger nearly died. It's been from one horrendous event to another. Mavericks instills a high dose of fear, anxiety, lack of confidence, and cold in the veins of everyone who tries to challenge it. It has a notorious reputation for being the deadliest wave on Earth. Nazaré, Portugal. Also called Portugal's monster, Nazaré is a gorgeous travel destination for adventurous tourists. It's one of the deadliest and biggest waves ever surfed. A Hawaiian once told a journalist that the ocean is not of riding waves, but death. The area is much larger because of the Nazaré Canyon, and it's also so deadly that Maya Gabira, a big wave surfer, nearly died in 2013. In winter, the wave of North Beach is 50 feet high. On memorable days, it could go as high as 80 feet. In October of 2020, Antonio Laureano, a Portuguese surfer, surfed a 101-foot wave and survived. Piahi, or Jaws of Maui, Hawaii. According to the Maui Guidebook, Piahi is the biggest wave surfed globally. Although the spot got its name from the famous Thriller, it is deceitful. Waves can sometimes be as high as 70 feet because the winter storm swells travel over a barrier reef. Surfers are towed into the breaking waves by jet skis to generate enough speed to surf the dangerous waves. Conditions change quickly here, as they can switch from a peaceful zone to a death-defying arena within seconds. Jaws became one of the most famous waves in the world after some expert surfers invented toe-in surfing. Dungeons, South Africa. Dungeons is a treacherous wave for many reasons. One reason you could be mindful is that its shark-infested beach is known for long hold downs, icy waters, and enormous underwater boulders. It's because of these scary features that this spot got its name. Located off Cape Town's Hoot Bay, it's hosted many big wave competitions, like the Red Bull Big Wave Africa, which is open to only 24 contestants. Events like this aren't for amateur surfers, as they can't paddle out but be towed into the area by jet skis. Visitors who would love to watch the adventure from the top of the rock should go with a local trusted tour guide. Shipstern, Tasmania, Australia. Shipstern in Tasmania National Park is named after the terrific 250-foot wedge-shaped granite cliff. It's also only accessible by boat or a long and tiring trek through the park. Surfers can encounter 20-foot waves when they visit, as they're towed by a jet ski and thrown directly into the wave's path. Before Shipstern was surfed, locals believed it was a myth. Few had the guts to experience the waves firsthand. Another factor that discouraged them was that visitors needed to drive through Port Arthur to get to the trail. Cyclops, Australia. The Cyclops Wave is just off the Esperance coast in Western Australia. It's also one of those locations accessed only by boat. It has the thickest and heaviest lips in the world. The depth changes so quickly, you can't imagine. When the swells roll in, they blast all of their might onto the razor-sharp coral, causing Cyclops to engulf themselves. While some expert wave riders would take on this challenge, others prefer to face the real Cyclops because it's the lesser evil. Kobe Aberton is the first to prove that Australia's Cyclops is not meant for human consumption. He tried it himself and came out with that shocking revelation. Cloudbreak, Fiji. Cloudbreak is known as Thundercloud Reef. It's also located off the coast of Fiji, about 3 miles straight south of Namatu Island. It's a world-class facility that's devoted to one of the most challenging waves in the world. The waves are incredibly fast and hit the reef from different angles. You need a jet ski and a towboard to get into its location. Surfers would never forget May 28, 2018, because it was the day the world's biggest waves rolled through Cloudbreak, Fiji. It was nicknamed Black Mamba, and can guess why. The Right, Western Australia. The Right in Western Australia is one of the world's most unpredictable and dangerous waves. Ryan, a famous surfer, nearly died in 2012 while riding it. He conquered it in an escape with his life intact. The waves reach 60 feet. To put this in perspective, it's 5 stories tall. To top it off, it's located in the middle of nowhere, several miles out to sea. There are great white sharks everywhere. Because of the dangers that lie here, the area hasn't been surfed in the last decade. During the period it was explored, it provided some of the most horrific surfing experiences in history. Cave Ericeira, Portugal. A shallow reef, hot-tempered locals, and urchins are some of the features of a dangerous wave. The cave has all these features. Little wonder it's described as Europe's heavy. There are countless clips to prove this could be the worst place to visit. To give a sneak peek of the events that happen here, a professional surfer named Nick and his friend took a trip to the cave for an experiment. Nick had up to 4 wetsuits to give him some extra padding in case he hits the bottom. Going the extra mile to protect himself didn't guarantee his safety. His friend had broken his back while surfing at this location. This wave was discovered by bodyboarders and has proven to be a challenge filmed, photographed, and competitive waves on the planet. Pipeline, Hawaii. The data from this wave is sickening. The pipeline has killed more surfers than any site in the world. Since 1989, over 7 surfers have died, while they have rushed several others to the hospital for injuries. In 2015, Evan Geiselman nearly paid the ultimate price there. He hit the bottom and became unconscious before another man heroically pulled him out to the surface. Resuscitation started promptly, and that was why he survived. Ask anyone who charges pipe frequently, and they'll narrate their near-death experience with the killer waves. The world's most famous wave is not so kind to spare beginners, intermediate, and even advanced riders with poor wave reading skills. The best time of the year to surf here is between October and March. Lunada Bay, California, USA. Lunada is one of the best right handlers in California. This wave ranges between 6 and 20 feet. Although it's not so dangerous, the locals make it even more deadly. Locals, who are mostly men, often slash tires, fight, and throw stones at visitors who want to have a glimpse of the beach. Some people manage to go and return to find their vehicles vandalized and their valuables thrown inside the water. The authorities are handicapped and can't do anything about the situation. Every year, people drown due to dangerous currents in the surf. If Lunada Bay boys don't come after you, the waves would.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get
Tarkwa. Tarkwa is a beach break located in the city of Edo in Lagos, Nigeria. The wedging peaks make this site an extremely fun place and an exciting ride. The community of local surfers also makes this place special. Visitors from across the country and continent gather to celebrate their support and passion for surfing. Sadly, this beach has one of the most dangerous waves globally, all thanks to pollution. Millions of industrial waste and sewage are pumped into the ocean yearly. It's normal to surf past garbage and on a few corpses too. Until next time, adios.